And welcome to Team Brad Stinson Podcast. I am Brad Stinson. I am here with a very special guest. I say special because he's a Marine, and B, he was my recruiter. Kenny Murillo, how you doing, Master Sergeant?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me, Brad.
Isn't it weird now? Like, I recruited his ass, and now he's asked me to be on this stupid podcast.
Oh yeah, it was weird the first time when we met after I got out and figured out which type of career path I wanted to be taking.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. I am pretty happy and excited for you to be a realtor. How's it going?
It's going great. I mean, it's going to take some time to get it started, but the more I get out there and talk to people and let them know what it is I'm doing, the better it's going to be in the long run.
Yeah, it's trying to break into this business is always a nightmare. Now, I'm not a realtor; I'm a lender, but we kind of work. It kind of works the same. It's real estate, right?
Right.
You know, I think it's kind of cool that you're right in the middle of the suck right now. It's really cool, and I say that because he just retired. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I joined the Marine Corps in 1996, and I just recently got out of the Marine Corps, did my little transition August 31st of this year. Upon my retirement, I figured I was going to go and be a realtor. So prior to me getting out, I went through all the appropriate classes and stuff. And
you haven't gone through my class yet.
I went through a excelled version of your class.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so I mean, I figured was in the recruiting field for 16 years, and I was helping young men and women make the decision that's going to better themselves in life. And I figured, I want to get into something that's still going to be able to help people. And I feel that buying a house is one of those milestones that everybody always dreams of having. So
yes, absolutely. But I just want to clear something up. You didn't make the choices. It was the chips. The chips made the choices.
Okay. You talking about the benefit tags?
Yes.
Yes. We have these benefit tags. These are 11 traits that the Marine Corps found that made people successful.
JJ did tight buckle.
Oh, those leadership traits.
What foundation traits are you talking?
The foundation traits like leadership, management skills, courage, poise,
okay,
self-confidence.
I get you.
Which is kind of the same things that is going to assist me in being successful in the realty business too, is because you have to have that confidence in yourself to be able to go out and talk to people. You got to talk to perfect strangers.
Yeah. It's nobody really prepares you for the world punching you in the face, because when you came from being a master sergeant, E8 in the Marine Corps, pretty much what you said people did, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now people can tell you to piss off, and you can't do shit about it.
Well, I mean, I got a little bit of an eye-opener with the recruiting itself, just because of the fact that we're working with people from the ages of 17 to 27.
That are barely graduating high school, because we Marines are, we're known for our good looks, not for our brains, right?
Yes. So basically, I've been told no plenty of times. I've been told to, you know what, go kiss where the sun doesn't shine, that type of thing. And I kind of got an idea of the whole process.
Sales approach. Yeah. And I'm happy to have you on our side, because I need more advocates. I need more veterans to help me spread the good word,
Oh, for sure. That's one of the things that I'm excited about too, just because being out here in this area, I know a lot of people who have made that decision to become a part of a branch of service, and now getting into realty, being able to still assist them, because there's some of them out there, believe it or not, that don't know that they can use their VA loan prior to getting out.
There's a lot of people. Okay, here's what I start every class with. Rule number 1 when dealing with veterans: never assume that we know our benefits, because we don't.
For sure.
I mean, I look back and I hear TAPS class is totally different now. But when I had to go through it, it was an 8-hour death by PowerPoint, going over all these fantastic benefits that we qualify for or eligible for or we've earned. And I could not pay attention to shit. Mm-hmm. It was 14 days and a wake up and I'm out of this bastard.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'll just take bits and pieces out of it. But I've heard that it's gone to like a 3-day process or something. I don't know.
Well, right now it's a one week, but it's so much stuff crammed into 1 week.
Aren't they teaching like transitional type things, job interview skills and resume building and things?
They go over that and they have you do it like as homework.
Homework?
Yeah, homework after sitting through death by PowerPoints. So you know how much time and effort was actually put into that. And to believe it, I mean, I just went out and I believe it was May is when I did my week of my transition. So pretty much after 22 years of being in the service, they gave me 1 week to learn how to transition back to civilian life.
And that was in May.
And May. Mm-hmm.
We're in October. Holy shit.
October. Yeah.
How are we doing with our transition there, Devil Dog?
It's tough. I mean, it's not easy. Once again, I think by working out here with recruiting has helped me because I wasn't secluded to a base for that whole time. So my transition is maybe a little bit
You've been living
easier.
Amongst us.
Yes. I've been the spy. Huh?
Yeah. You've been deeply embedded in civilian world.
Right. So it's made it a little bit easier. However, the transition as far as, I guess,
being able to survive. But
being able to be myself a little bit.
Yeah. But I know what's kicking you in the nuts right now is that constant twice-a-month paycheck.
Yes. Not having the steady income has affected me a little bit. I'm trying my best not to allow it to, but when you've been in the Marine Corps for that long and that's what you're used to.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Yeah, I've gotten away from getting a haircut every week.
There you go.
See, yeah.
That saves you some money.
It does.
And razors. I see you got a beard
I'm not
now.
Shaving anymore.
Is that like 4 months worth of growth or what?
I trimmed it up a little bit, but I mean,
and I wonder why you don't have any clients.
Hey, I see people out there in all different occupations that have the beard, so I figure I'm gonna let it grow.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Whatever. I can't get past like the 2.5 week growth itch.
Yeah.
It just, oh God,
I wasn't able to do it for 22 years. I was forced to shave.
Yeah, I know.
Now I will shave when I want to shave.
I still shave when I want to shave, but I like the 2.5 week itch. I can't get past it. Like I just can't. So I just trim it back down. But the last time I've actually used a razor on my face, it's been probably 10 years.
I have to use a regular razor.
You haven't been out long enough. Give it time. Give it time.
But I mean, other than that, the transition, I knew with this new occupation that it was going to take some time to get into and to get it rolling.
I've fallen into everything in this. Like I knew what I wanted to do when I first became a loan officer. I just didn't know how to get there.
Right.
I spent 4 months throwing shit against the wall, hoping it would stick because I had all these ideas, but I didn't have any help. Like I had a lot of experience with marketing, advertising, sales, because I was a regional manager at Planet Fitness for 5 years. So I understood all that. I just didn't know how to translate that into being a loan officer because it's two totally different worlds.
Right.
Kind of like shooting artillery to regional manager at Planet Fitness. Totally different worlds. But I can't tell you the magic button. There is no such thing as a magic button, but the internal characteristics that we are instilled, and you haven't noticed them yet because you haven't been out long enough, are going to kick in. They will kick in, and you ride it like a fucking wave, man. Like how many, dude, you texted me the other night. You're like, what are you doing up?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing up?
Oh, that was in the morning.
Yeah. I'm like,
it was like 5 a.m. or something.
It's because I have so much shit going on right now. Like I sleep for I take naps,
right.
Like I take a little nap and I go back to work and do stuff. And it's just, that's all we know, right? We know that things need to get done. We can make it fucking happen. Right. Adapt and overcome.
For sure.
As bastard children of the armed forces, they give us an MRE spoon and they're like, dig a hole to China. By God, us Marines will, through our hands and everything else. But it was a change of atmosphere for me is what I needed because I'm a positive person by trait. I don't let the people around me affect me, but these people were affecting me.
Right.
You know, I started to see my drive go down. Not necessarily my drive, but my, why do I even try? You know, like I'm still busting my ass knowing that I wanted, you know, the end goal.
Yes.
I just didn't know how to get there, and I just didn't have any support. So when I changed companies, I was actually able to like, they took me off the chain, like a dog off the chain, you know, and I was running around naked, streaking through the yard, you know, just going crazy with all this newfound freedom. And it was like guided freedom, right? It was, oh, that's not a good idea to do that. I would do it like this.
Right.
Oh my God, you know, thank you for that. And within 2.5 months of being at the new company, I just took off.
Good.
I switched over to 100% VA only. Like I shouldn't say, I gotta stop saying that, because I do other loans, but I don't want to if I don't have to. You know, I get a huge internal benefit to originating and helping veterans through the home buying process. Even if I can't help them right now, I have a whole network of people that I can connect them with to help them with whatever they're going through. Personal, mental, financial, you know, lodging, you know, you name it. I think I've done a pretty good job building out my network. I don't know. Have you met some people?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like you're putting it out there. You're using all the social media platforms, and that's a good thing too, because think about it right now. That's what
it's free.
Yeah. Well, it's free. Yes. But that's what people are using.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as they wake up, what are they doing?
Dude, I think I fall asleep on Facebook.
How many times have you dropped your phone on your face because you're looking at it?
I don't. I sleep on my stomach.
Oh, okay.
So I've dropped it on the floor numerous times. No, but I mean, let's go down that route. Let's explore that avenue.
Okay.
I think that's a good one. I know what I know about the demographics, and the best way to attract your ideal client or your ideal customer under the age of 49 is all online. It's all digital, right?
Yes, it is.
I think I know, maybe I can count on one hand how many people don't have Facebook. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much talk to anybody. That's one of the things when I start talking with somebody too. I'm like, hey, so you got Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Facebook. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'm going to request you as a friend. That way I can add you to my business page.
You ask?
Well, you know, when you're first meeting somebody, you don't want to seem like a stalker. You know, as soon as you meet them, then all of a sudden they got a friend's request from you.
Well, it's a confidence boost. You know, this Marine wants. No, just kidding. No, just kidding.
You know,
just kidding, Jamie.
Adding them to my business page, that way they can follow me on the different things that I'm putting out there. I try to post at least once a day, and then whenever I see a good deal on a house or in a nice neighborhood or whatever, try to put it on there to see if there's anybody that is a part of my network that might be interested.
Jamie is his wife too, by the way. That's if you're wondering. Which, by the way, happy anniversary. You guys just celebrate 10 years?
Yeah, 14.
14? I don't know where I got 10. Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, 14 years.
I had to keep my shoes on, so
yeah,
I couldn't count that high. No, but where I was going with that is I've been seeing a lot more of the American Legions and VFWs struggling because they're not digital.
Right.
What they've been doing has been working for them.
Mm-hmm.
Has been working for them. And sadly, we're seeing all of them start to dwindle because memberships are going down and down and down and down. And eventually they're going to start closing doors.
Yes.
Because they cannot get any new members in there. I have a pretty good idea what's going on. I think there's one American Legion in Grand Rapids that I've seen active on Facebook. What about you?
I have not seen any active on Facebook. But at the same time, I'm not looking for them because I'm a part of the American Legion over in Alto. And when I walk in there, I think I'm the youngest one in there.
Oh. Yeah, that's very true. You know, and let's talk about that because I think that that's a great, there's no real hard data behind what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. This is just an observation and it's shared by many others. When you go into these American Legions and VFWs, you do see older gentlemen, older veterans, and the older veterans are typically the Vietnam veterans.
Correct.
Okay. Now let's hop in a time machine and go back to the Vietnam War. This country was a mess.
Yes.
You know, they were torn up over the war, and our veterans were treated like shit. Like every Vietnam veteran that came back was treated like crap. Their safe haven was the American Legions and VFWs. They could go there. I mean, because in the 70s and 80s, PTSD wasn't a thing.
Right.
The Vietnam veterans learned how to be men from their dads, the greatest generation, the World War II people, right?
Right.
Those guys are badasses.
Yes, they are.
Right? They showed no emotion, very stoic, you know, whatever. They hit everything. Cool, whatever. So the Vietnam veterans were trying to be normal again after they came back from a war they may or may not have agreed with. They were drafted. Not only were they drafted, it was an entitled draft, meaning if you didn't come for money, your ass was going over to Vietnam.
Right.
Go overseas, do war. I say do war because that's what you know, war sucks. You know, you see all your friends, not all, but you see friends die. Then you come back home and you're shit on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I couldn't imagine that. And when I got off the boat, you know, when I came back home, both deployments, I belly flopped on the concrete, kissed the ground, like, oh my God, you know, I'm home. And then I was embraced with open arms. I couldn't imagine coming home to protesters on that flight deck. And then you don't have your rifle. You know,
right.
24 hours ago I had my rifle, you know.
No,
but they found their safe havens at the American Legions and VFWs. They safeguard the shit out of it. I understand that. But you need more membership. You need money coming in there, or else your safe havens are going to go away.
Yes.
I understand why they're protecting them. I get it. I completely do. But I mean, I think people have got to meet in the middle. What are your thoughts on that? Since you're an active American Legion member. I'm an active member too. I just never go in.
That's pretty much the way I am too. I became a American Legion member with that particular American Legion. Prior to that, I was with the one over in Wyoming on 44th Street, and that's mainly because the fact that they came and they were actually seeking younger service members, so they came into the recruiting office looking for us.
Wow.
Which was a great thing because they offered us the memberships. So then we started using their facilities for our trainings.
Yeah.
Which, yes, we were bringing people in that weren't members at the time, but that could do something with them and get them now interested because they're seeing the different facilities and becoming a member.
Yeah.
They have to actively seek the younger generation. Otherwise,
they do, and
the younger generation is not going to just walk in there on their own.
Correct, because nobody knows they exist. And like me personally, I would not know what the American Legion or VFW offered if I didn't go in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went in there intentionally because I had an idea to help generate new memberships. Host a social networking night. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I would host it. I would spearhead the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
But I was looked at like I was some sort of like, you don't rate, son. What do you mean I don't rate? I went to war twice. I'm a veteran. You know, what else do I need to prove to you?
Right.
Right? It's like, come on. There also, I just recently hosted I attended and was a part of a benefits fair at one of the legions around here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was invited about 3 months in advance. Okay, cool. But a lot of things were going on with work and stuff, and I just kind of pushed it to the back burner because, you know, I mean, there are days in this business where it's like minute by minute. Like, you know, you just got to take it 1 minute at a time.
Yes.
So I looked at my calendar. I'm like, oh, shit, this thing is in 2 weeks. I went on Facebook to see if they were doing any advertising or anything. There's nothing there.
Oh, my goodness.
The realtor who invited me to do this actually did an event. And he boosted it. And, you know, so I call that realtor. I'm like, what's going on? Like, are they doing any of this and blah, blah, blah? And we ended up going down to that Legion that day and talking to the temporary post commander. And I asked him, are you promoting this at all on Facebook? He's like, well, we have a Facebook page. We just can't log into it. I'm like, what do you mean you can't log into it? The person who created the page no longer is here. I'm like, well, we need to get the message out. Do you want me to build you one real quick? I'll even manage it for you. Well, I need to get board approval, and they're going to say no. What? Really? Okay. Well, then what else can we do? Well, you know, and I'm trying to help out, but they're putting more effort into squashing my help than actually helping, you know?
Yes.
It's like different revenue generating ideas, and they're turning me down, and it's like, I looked up and all the lights are off in this place. I'm like, are the lights off intentionally? meaning, you can't afford the bill.
Right.
They're like, yeah, we leave them off during the day. Like, so you
Play
need
dark?
money. You need money. Like, what is going on? In the day of the event, it was just so frustrating because they have VSOs, which are members of the Legion or VFW that are skilled and understand the whole benefit process, right? Which are great assets for veterans to talk to and friend, because when you're going through the benefit process, it sucks, right? Because you got to fill out all these papers. If you fill them out wrong,
so much stuff.
If you fill them out wrong, you could delay it and so on and so forth. Well, this VSO, bless his heart, I mean, he comes in like half an hour late with 3 accordion folders. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That just have like multiple slots for all these. So he comes in and he just starts slapping down like stacks of 25 of all these papers, and he's walking around this round table, like all the way around, and he completely fills the table with all these papers. Right. Well, first of all, you look at these papers, and it looks like
they're old.
It looks like he printed them in 1994. Like a dot matrix printer, and I'm like, what? These are great, fantastic programs. Like, I didn't know. I mean, there's probably 300 programs that are on this table. I maybe know 20 of them. Okay, and I'm, that's some very valuable information. But why in the fuck am I going to grab a piece of paper that has a bear on it?
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with me applying for my benefits?
Yeah.
Like, this looks like it's bullshit, right? And not only that, all of the important documents, like application for COE, was from like 1998.
Those old forms.
It's like an outdated version by like 4 forms ago. And when I told them, I'm like, look, you guys are pretty adamant on saying that you are not able to actually submit or write out these benefits, but you can help them and direct them to the e-benefits web portal.
Yes.
And they're like, no, we don't do anything online. It's like, oh my, yes, I know you don't do anything online. That's why you guys are going to close your doors. Come on. Like, I'm trying to help you here.
You have to get on the social media. The thing is too is it's free, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's free. They're like, no, we do it snail mail. Okay, that costs you what, $1,000 a month?
Mm-hmm.
It's super expensive to send things through the mail. Why don't you just get everybody's email? Everybody has an email now, because you have to have an email to have a phone.
Yes, you do.
Just send it out. But I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit about them. It's very frustrating that I've gone into multiple locations and tried to offer help, and they're like, get out of here.
It's unfortunate because we need more members to go into those facilities, regardless of where it's at. VFW or American Legion.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to talk shit by any means, so please don't take that way. I'm just saying we want to help. It's just they don't want to receive help. They want to do it their way, and I get it. I totally understand. What else do you want to talk about? What did you do for your anniversary dinner?
Well, we didn't do anything for our anniversary dinner.
Oh yeah, you're broke as shit.
But I will say this: my son, he's actually taking lessons from me, and he set up a little like picnic in our basement for my wife and I.
Oh, I saw that. That's pretty sweet.
Some chips and salsa with a couple of beers there, and got to watch a TV show, and the kids were upstairs not bothering us. So,
what TV show?
We watched This Is Us.
Did you cry?
Nope.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Does Jamie ever tell you that you're emotionless?
No, I don't think so. I used to be emotionless, but I think over the years I've changed a little bit.
I think I'm getting worse.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't know. Like, my wife cried for 3 days when McDreamy died on Grey's Anatomy.
I heard that on your podcast.
That's podcast number 9. She doesn't know the difference between gray and tan. I don't know the difference. Like, you're an idiot. I love you. But she's like, I just don't understand how this is not sad to you. And I don't know, like, it's a TV show. Like,
some
I
of
don't
them
know them.
Yeah, some of them get sad, but I'll turn my head. And wipe a tear away with my finger and pretend like I'm stretching or something. But I will say that we as veterans definitely don't show our emotions like everybody else does, or like we probably should, because I mean that's a way of expressing and releasing that feeling that you have inside.
That's
you
true.
have to
That's
express
very, very
your
true.
feelings.
And the only time that I feel like I can get real feelings out is when I talk to another veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know even if you're in the Air Force, Ben Williams, I know whatever I say will be received with a judgment-free mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to be said about that, and that's a good segue into 92 for 22.
Yeah.
Do you know how the event turned out?
Which one? The event we just had?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was wonderful. I had just became a part of the 92 for 22 nonprofit itself. I know Bart. I've known Bart, who is the founder of 92 for 22. I met him actually at the Allendale baseball fields. Both of our kids were playing baseball, and he was out there and wearing his USMC sweatshirt, and I just started talking to him.
Hey, Devil Dog.
Yeah. So I talked with him. I've maintained contact. Our kids play.
Did you try
together.
to recruit him back in?
No, I didn't, but he was a recruiter himself too, back in the day.
That's right.
And then once I started transitioning out, I wanted to give back,
Get
involved, and that's when he had asked me if I wanted to actually be a part of it and be an officer for 92 for 22, which I agreed. So going through that, we set up the September 22nd 22K. We set that up quick. It wasn't something that we didn't have time, because we wanted to have it on September 22nd.
Yeah.
And here we were, I think it was like
August.
the middle of July when we had the first meeting. It was like, hey, if we're going to do this, we need to get on it now. And me personally, I was only expecting maybe 50 people.
Me personally, when I got involved, I wanted to stop traffic.
Yes, I remember, because you said that you wanted to stop traffic.
Yes.
On one of your videos. And it was an overwhelming response from the community.
It was.
Having
it was awesome.
Having over 130 people out there walking, all ages, ranging from being pushed in a stroller to.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a gentleman that had one of those walkers.
Bo, yeah.
Yes.
He's a chaplain. That was pretty freaky. That dude, he would pass me every once in a while. Yeah, he was passing me, but then I'd pass him.
Then you would see him sitting there taking a rest. Yeah. So and it was pretty cool, because as we were walking, just seeing like the cars that were passing, seeing all the American flags, beeping their horn in appreciation.
Yep.
There were some people that when they were stopped, because we were crossing the road, they were stopped at the stop sign. I would run up to them and they would ask him what's this all about, and I was able to share the foundation, the nonprofit with them, and they were liking it.
Yeah, it was super cool when I didn't intend to do so many Facebook Live videos, but we just did it.
It was just there,
right? So I think I ended up doing like 6 videos or something, but you could totally see, the hyperness, like, let's do this. And then you can see us embracing the suck.
Yes. The hills.
Yeah. And I think the coolest part, I mean, when I got involved at the beginning of August, I think. And I told them I'd be a sponsor, and I wanted to help them with however I could, because a lot of the stuff that they're doing, I do for being a VA loan specialist. Mm-hmm. So I can help you with videos. I can help you spread the word. I can help with this and that and the other thing. Just let me know. When they came on for the podcast, I think it was podcast number 2, Bart did, because we shot one in studio, and Christian was like, had like some sort of sinus problem. Uh-huh. So in the background, Christian's just snorting, like, dude, I can't use any of this.
Yeah.
So I had to redo it with just Bart. But
that's when you guys ended up redoing it at the Veterans Park, right?
That was the first one. That was our video. We shot a video there, but before then we did the podcast. And Christian was just like snarling in the background. It was funny, but like it was the wolf.
Yes.
He always talks about the wolf.
Yes, he does.
I think I even said it on that podcast. Like, I want to get so many people involved that I want to stop traffic. And when we crossed Lake Michigan Drive at Colville Avenue, we stopped
We
traffic.
stopped traffic for a while too.
Yes. And then a police officer had to stop traffic at every crosswalk
Yes.
from Colville to Brands on Leonard Street.
Yes.
And that was freaking awesome.
Yep. We had the Grand Rapids PD out there helping us, and then we also had the one of many Veterans Motorcycle Club.
Yes, that's true.
They were out there.
Mhm.
We had 3 of them were out there with their motorcycles,
That was pretty sweet.
working with the police officers,
Yep.
stopping traffic.
Yeah.
So
we stopped traffic multiple times. I was like, yes. And I think Bart's wife actually got a photo of me right after we stopped traffic. I was like, oh, we stopped traffic.
yeah,
I was super
that's
pumped.
when we were crossing Lake Michigan. When
Yeah.
she got you.
And I think the coolest part was when we all got on Leonard Street. You know how you always accordion, like during every hump, every run, every drill.
Yes.
It's just an accordion effect, right? You get the fast walkers, the fast runners, and then you get the slow guys. And then, it just always happens at the end. You all come back together,
Yes.
and walking with a group of veterans who we've all gone through it already. We've all been through the suck. We've all been through the shit during our time in and our time out, walking for this cause and getting back together with those guys. Even though I just met all of them that day, all of us knew, fuck yeah, game on. Let's do this. And we got each other to the finish line.
Yes.
That's cool as hell.
I think that helped out, because when we were going down Leonard, you were kind of able to see where the end was.
Yep.
So that helped everybody, because I was tired myself. For the whole time going down Lake Michigan, I was running back and forth, taking pictures and taking videos, and then running back up to the front.
Yeah, you were a
By
motivator.
the end, I was like done. My feet felt like they were gonna just break on me.
Yeah,
But I had to continue. I kept telling myself I got to do this for those who can't do it themselves.
I had, by the time we got, so we walked from Allendale Family Fair to Brands on Leonard Street.
Correct.
So 22 kilometers. What was that? 14 and
13.67 miles.
It was 14.
Pretty sure it's probably 15 miles that we
or
walked.
maybe 22. But by the time we got to Lake Michigan and Wilson, I had blisters like across the balls of both my feet and on the backs of my feet.
We ended up taking a break there, and I saw you in the truck getting.
I was like, oh, dude.
Getting it taken care
but so the rest of the walk sucked balls.
Yeah.
Just sucked. I couldn't stop because if I stopped, then it would hurt even more, whatever. But every step, every ounce of pain, everything that I did that day was 100% worth it.
Yes.
I'd do it all again.
That's the biggest thing is, when we do events like that, what we're trying to do is raise awareness for PTSD and also veteran suicide. And I think with that event, that's just one of many events that are going to happen.
Exactly.
With that event, I firmly believe that we created awareness.
Yes, we did.
And we're still getting responses from that on our Facebook page, the 92 for 22 page. We have it also on Instagram. We have
I'll put those in the podcast description so you guys can like and follow. Do so, please.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All 12 of you listening to this, and Jamie, you're already following.
Yes.
No, it was a fantastic event. I loved every minute of it. So when's the next one? Let's see how much. I want to go for 1,000 this time.
Well, the next hike that we're planning is the 92-mile hike.
I'll be the duty driver. I'm not doing I'll sponsor. I'll do whatever I can, but I'm not doing that.
The information for that hike, we're hoping to have everything finalized, and that information will be released at the end of November.
Cool.
So,
yeah,
we can count on around the April time frame
for the big one.
For the big one.
Even though it's the big one, and I was joking around about not being involved because I'm fat and lazy.
Yeah,
really.
That's the hike that started it all off. The 90.
Yeah,
that's where the 92 comes from. Is when Bart and the other walkers that were with him. I don't remember exactly everybody who was there with him, but they walked from Comstock Park up to Cadillac.
That's crazy. So why 92? I'm just curious. Like why just like one day I'm gonna walk 92 miles?
I think it's because the trail that he looked at. I think it's called, what is it called? White White Trail,
Big White Pine Trail.
something like that, from Comstock Park up to Cadillac ended up being 92 miles.
Gotcha. Okay. Even though it's a 92-mile walk, if you want to do even just a small portion, you're able to do so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I can tell you this: if the 9-year-old girl Sawyer can walk almost 14 miles, anybody can walk.
Yes.
A little bit.
I had my kids out there too. I had a 7-year-old out there. He didn't finish the whole thing, but he was out there. He would get a ride. He would get out there and get a ride. But my 9 and 10-year-old pretty much walked the whole thing.
Yeah, and you don't have to walk. You can get involved. My mom was a volunteer.
Yes.
There are volunteers that are there passing out orange slices,
helping us out.
Yeah,
refreshment
drinks
stands,
and things, and making sure. Yeah.
The biggest thing with I would say with the 92 miler would be we don't walk 92 miles straight without taking a break.
Yeah, we took 5 breaks on ours.
On ours, yes.
But we were also walking really fast, according to our pacemakers.
Yeah, that was me. Keep telling everybody, slow down. We're going fast. So, I mean, as much involvement as we can get, as many people that we can get to just support us, even if they're just out there as we're passing by their area. Once again, hopefully in November, we'll be able to have the route that we're going to be going. That way we can start setting stuff up along that path and having people just out there cheering us. I mean, we had some people in Leonard cheering us coming
that was
coming
cool.
out of the cell phone stores and whatever other stores were there.
Yeah.
Clapping
that
for
was
us.
Really cool. They're giving us high fives.
Going by the restaurants.
Yep.
The people clapping for us and just seeing what we're all about. And that gives us an opportunity to tell them what 92 for 22 is all about. And we're going to raise awareness for PTSD. We're going to raise awareness for the 22 veterans who take their lives a day, to let them know that they're not alone. We're here for them. They can come to us. They can turn to another fellow veteran, and we can talk about it. So.
That's the thing. Try to bring awareness to the fact that, dude, do you know how many veterans are in the state of Michigan?
I don't, but I know there's a lot.
I mean, the latest stat that I've seen is service-connected veterans is over 400,000.
Wow.
So there's even more if you add in the non-service connected veterans, like disabled veterans is what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big fucking tribe.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. That's over 400,000 people that you can call up at any time of day. Like if my phone rang at 3:30 in the morning and it was a guy I served with, I'm going to fucking answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was on the phone this morning with a realtor, like talking through a VA offer, and a Marine I served with called me. I'm like, hold on, I need to take this call.
Right.
And I put business aside and talked to my buddy, like, dude, are you all right? He's like, yeah, man, I'm just on break. I want to refinance my home. I'm like, oh.
He scared me.
I was like, all right, well, let me call you back. He's like, well, I only have 10 minutes for break, and I just called you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're fat and you got to eat. And he's like, fuck you. And he hung up. So, that's just what it is. That's what we do for each other.
Yes.
So it's a huge tribe. It's a huge family, and we're always there for each other. And you have to know that.
Yes.
You have to feel it. And I know people get stuck in the fact. It took me 5 years to be comfortable with being a veteran. When during those 5 years, you're a veteran. I ran.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about that shit. I don't want to talk about it.
It is tough. I mean, I think the benefit that I had is because during my transition, I got involved with 92 for 22, which is allowing me to express my feelings. It's allowing me to tell my story and talk about how I'm feeling about everything that has happened in the past 22 years. Yeah,
I can't tell you how the intrinsic benefit it has on me every time I teach a class. Because, yes, I'm teaching about the VA home loan, but I'm telling my transition story, and I'm sharing others, their struggles too, right? So I try to paint a picture of how a veteran feels, like their emotional state, so agents can understand how to deal with it. And I didn't realize the value that had on me, because every single time I get up there, I am telling and I'm sharing my stories. I'm extremely, vulnerable, and it's a release.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of embarrassing sometimes when I talk about some of the things, because I don't want the attention and I don't want the added, oh, you did that, and like that's not what that's about.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you stories. Like, the IEDs that we got hit with, or, like I'm trying to help you understand what it's like to be in my head for 10 minutes or 3 hours or however long we're doing that class.
Right.
So there's a lot to be said about that. But anyways, any final thoughts, man? We should probably wrap this up.
Well, I guess if you want to buy a house, sell a house, come see me.
Yeah, man. Kenny Murillo is he's a halfway VA educated realtor. He hasn't attended one of my classes, but I got his 6. I've been working with him on everything. Actually, your first VA offer you submitted was accepted, which is
that was my
awesome.
first offer ever.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
it was like he was just a big ball of clay, and I got
like
to
it was
mold
meant
ya.
to be.
I got to mold you.
Yeah.
VA approved, man. You're absolutely, you're educated on the VA stuff. You speak military, you speak VA, and I approve.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to team up with you and to help veterans out.
Yeah, get them in the homes, man.
And if obviously, of course, if you're not a veteran, you're listening to this, I'll be more than happy to help you out too.
But if you're listening to this, you know a veteran.
Yes.
Probably. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. Let's get after it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. Semper Fi. Bye-bye.
Hurrah.